Ladies and gentlemen, have no fear. Your councilman is here, and we got to talk about how Mami is always on top of her birthday cake. This is so much more to talk about on this episode of WWT Live.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go off. This is Shayna, the Queen of Spades, Baszler, and you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Greetings and salutations to everybody, and happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of WWT Live. As you can see, your councilman is in the driver's seat, but always shout out to our captain of the ship, the professor, NXT bonnerfide, wherever I believe he is out and about in these streets, not pounding them like our mayor, but he's getting ready to give us some awesome commentary. But that doesn't mean that this show is not going to be epic. We have a lot of wrestling news to cover as far as what's going on SmackDown. WrestleDream is this weekend, and a lot more. And I am so glad that I never have to do this by myself. Watch alongs, cool, but WWT Live by yourself, never fun. So how about we go ahead and get the sweetest oos in here, my tag team partner, the lady who is about to take over the wrestling podcast industry, Miss Wrestling with Honey. Honey, how are you doing this Friday?
I am phenomenal. It's been a wonderful week. Happy Friday. If you see my face, you know what time it is, and the color is blue. I'm excited. Lots to go over today.
Hopefully y'all will be able to join the Honey Night SmackDown watch along that's going to be coming on after this, 5 p.m. on the West Coast and 8 p.m. on the East Coast. But now also too here with us, man, he is everything all-star fandom. He is very confused on whether to be a Rock or Cody fan, but we still accept him nonetheless because he is one of my go-to for Batman lore. Beyond Wars in the building.
What's up, man? The confusion is there. A long-time Rock fan, loving Cody as a babyface. But yeah, man, just happy to be here and talk about this. And I'm fairly new to the whole to WWT too, so I just don't want to be like that kid on a sitcom, go upstairs and never come down again. So I hope I'm okay here. So I'm just having fun. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We are always glad to have you here, and especially all the folks that are also here in the chat. We're always so glad to have you here. Of course, Pachu, Honey's other better half, is in here in the building. We have Jeffrey up in the building. What's up, WWT fam? Easy not. I can't show that on here, but we know where that comes from. But appreciate that, Easy.
Oh my Lord.
Jeffrey again, and then Malik 3166. Boo, Cody, go. And everybody else that's jumping in right now. So we got some news to talk about today, and one thing that we have been talking about is especially the transition of wow, okay, I owe him this. Okay, I owe him this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have someone else joining us today. A lot of the times y'all will try to blame him for what goes on the internet, but I think that just alludes to the power that this man holds, being an accountant for so many constituents out there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Jacob Dolores in the building. Jacob, how are you doing today?
What's up, Jacob?
Oh, wow. I didn't get a bullshit intro today. Look at that. They actually gave me a nice, proper intro. Damn. I was so ready to hit the exit button and go take me a nap. I was so ready. I'm good.
Yeah, well, this time I can't do that to him this time. I was like, I'm gonna learn what this man does, and I'm gonna give him a proper intro next time. Oh my God. How are you?
Appreciate the intro. I'm good. How are you nice folks today?
Doing good. Good to see you, Jacob.
Yes, indeed. Good to see you, sir. But we're talking about how a lot of WWE stuff is about to move over. Raw going to Netflix, SmackDown moving over to USA, NXT with the CW. And we've learned a little bit more that the WWE is expanding their viewership across the world, and their next stop is Japan. So it has just been announced that WWE has announced a new broadcasting rights deal in Japan. Now, there's an agreement between, I'm just going to spell it because I don't know if you're supposed to just say it, but ABEMA. It's a free ad supported platform in Japan that will now be streaming WWE Raw and SmackDown for free, as well as WWE's PLEs, and then WWE NXT will become available to watch on demand as part of the agreement. And the company revealed that they will be starting with airing Monday Night Raw next week.
Damn, that's quick.
Yeah, so I just want to know from y'all, honey, I'll start with you. How do you feel about this deal that WWE in Japan just closed as far as coming to stream Monday Night Raw and SmackDown over there?
Like how what a way to stay busy, what a way to stay booked and busy and trying to lock in some deals globally, especially, trying to go with the tides and changing of the ways with this new era. But man, being that there's still a lot of, Japanese talent that is in other promotions that may want to make the move to WWE, even being based, having possibly doing a PLE there, and then also holding the tryouts that they do every now and again. They could acquire more talent from other places as well, considering all the talent that they still have. Even Asuka has yet to show back up, but the likes of Io Sky, Kairi Sane, Julia as well, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, I think this is so interesting, and I think this is pretty awesome.
Jacob, thoughts on this?
It's interesting. I mean, I didn't realize they didn't have a broadcast deal of some sort in Japan. I understand that wrestling in Japan isn't as weekly and episodic as it is here. Case in point being New Japan, Noah, and All Japan doing theirs in unique and different ways. But what's interesting is if you look at the poster, boy, you want to talk about catering to your audience. We have 1, 2, 3, and that looks like an Uso next row. So you got 3 Japanese talents and 2 Samoan talents. Boy, they know what they doing in marketing. I mean, hopefully it works out great. It's free. So, the real question is it going to be live? Like when it airs here at 8, I believe that is about 2 in the afternoon in Japan the next day, or 2 in the morning the next day. So is it going to be live, or is it going to be like, oh, you can get it at this slotted time? Because they said NXT be on demand. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. But because they did say they will have Japanese commentators for this as well. So this may be, or like how you said, it may film a little bit later in the day and premiere for them, so they could see it. And then, like you said, like a full 24 hours will pass before it becomes on demand for NXT. We'll have to see as more as this deal inks out. But Dion, let me ask you, how do you think this bodes well for WWE, especially after AEW coming off the heels of sealing in this deal with Warner Brothers and Max?
I mean, we just talked about it this week about the whole deal that they have sort of with the SmackDown, right? Being on Netflix in the UK, was it? So, I mean, they're trying to capitalize on how hot they are right now. Every eyeball they're trying to occupy at the moment. Stock's up, because I'm not saying that it overshadows the AEW deal, but WWE been making deals for a while now. Their Netflix deal was a huge thing. We heard the stuff earlier that we'll probably talk about, the Peacock stuff too, for moving there. They're capitalizing off how hot the product is. The stock's up for WWE. I mean, being on every eyeball. But I will say this, because I got my notes written here. I'm going through them. It looks, just with that AEW deal and the fact that it's for 3 years in an opt-out, and then now you have WWE giving away Raw and SmackDown for free in Japan. I mean, that's making it easy on the consumer. It's like, hey, we're on, watch us. Even if we're on replay, watch us. We're there. They'll take the eyeball. They'll take the ratings for that too. But man, AEW, I don't know, man. I'm not optimistic anymore about that. They might not get that fourth year if something doesn't turn around for them, and WWE is just cornering the market like this.
Well, if anybody is here to combat
she's here.
Oh yeah.
Brad, ladies and gentlemen, Stone Cold Courtney is
Bring her in.
Courtney, we were just first of all, how are you doing this Friday?
I am doing good. It's Friday. A lot has happened the last couple days in the wrestling world, but I'm just happy. It's Friday. I'm here, ready to go. And it's SmackDown tonight.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Now, we were just talking about the deal that WWE has just linked with a Japan streaming services to stream Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, the WWE PLEs, and then eventually on demand for WWE NXT. Now, I was just asking Dion about how does this deal hit with the news that was just giving about AEW signing with Warner Brothers?
Well, first off, I'm happy that WWE with Japan, because that's a big deal. And also it kind of says like we're doing this internationally. I'm curious with Warner Brothers because I know they do it internationally, but I'm curious in Japan because I know they try to oversee it, but I'm curious on how it acts up in Japan. So that's like very a curiosity since that's a major brand, Warner Brothers. But just seeing that, it really is. And also with Japan, a lot of people, well, all of us here, but some people may not know that some stars in WWE started in Japan. So that's also a bonus too, because some of them, like before, it was either you wrestle in Japan, you wrestle in Canada, you wrestled in the territorial Mexico, and then that's how you kind of got your name out. Now it's kind of like, I don't want to say easy, but there's a lot of opportunities outside of like WWE, AEW, even TNA. You also have New Japan there, which even though they have a partnership with AEW, a lot of wrestlers who came into WWE wrestled in New Japan. So that's also an added bonus too, and kind of does a leverage in it, and also gives an opportunity for future stars in the making. And plus, if people have never saw WWE before in Japan, it also gives them a treat. Even if it's another replay, they get excited and watch it again.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And I'm gonna ask y'all one other question that I just kind of find interesting. So let's say, for instance, like this does become a success, continues to build, and now WWE is ready to pull the trigger on a PLE being in Japan, not a Super Show, not a Monday Night Raw, an actual PLE. Which one do you see them using over in Japan? Honey, we'll start with you.
That's a good one.
As a matter of fact, Jacob, I feel like you got one to give Honey a little time. It seemed like you had one ready.
I'm a little stumped.
It's not going to be one of the big fours in any shape, form, or fashion, or the big five if you count Money in the Bank. The problem with them doing a PLE in Japan is that it is a 13-hour time difference. For the East Coast. It is 6:22 right now where I am. It is 7:22 in the morning in Tokyo right now.
Yeah.
I understand doing one in London. I get going into Germany, going into France. Those are 5, 6, 7 hour time differences. Those are fine. That means it's middle of the afternoon on Saturday for us here. Perfect. Cool. Love it. I don't think they can do it because they did the Beast in the East way back when the network was still a thing, but that hit us at like 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 in the morning. Hey, who's waking up at 6 in the morning to watch wrestling? Like they did Australia, and you can say some folks are like, yeah, I watched it, some didn't. So you're testing it, but if you do it, you probably do something special, like a Bash in Berlin. You give them their own thing, or maybe you do the Chamber. That might be it. Make it a spectacle. The Chamber's probably the only one I can see of the traditional ones that we're used to. Otherwise, it's going to be a one-off like Bash in Berlin.
Okay. Courtney, which one do you see, if any, going to Japan?
This is actually a good question. I'm not including the big four in this because I just think for this one, they should probably do a little bit like a Backlash or a Chamber. I don't know why, but I just had bad blood in my head from Japan. I don't know why, but it was literally stuck in my head. And especially after being in Georgia, coming back, that could be a possibility, especially with like some rivalries that could be created. And also, Japan, if you saw the wrestling style in Japan, it kind of fits with the theme of bad blood. That's what I was thinking in my head. But I would probably say kind of like a smaller PLE, so similar to like a Bad Blood, Elimination Chamber, a Backlash, or some sort of. But Bad Blood was something that popped in my head.
All right, Dion.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not a big four, obviously, but I think they could do something like what they've created with Crown Jewel already. Just have something specific, another show in between one of the bigger pay-per-views and stuff like that. And I get what Jacob's saying about the time difference. I get it, but I don't know if they're trying to jump into that market, this one might not be for us. I think we've been greedy to be like, okay, they're tailoring it all to the US audience. But as they've shown like the last week or two with these deals that they're going to stand by that global moniker that they hold, right? Of being worldwide too. So this one might not be for us. I think it's a good idea to have one, but I mean, we have Peacock, we'll have whatever Netflix does with that deal. If it's something around that time, we'll see it eventually. We might not can't watch it live and all together, but this might be just something for that Japanese audience, that Japan audience over there. And we just have to, I don't know, get the best seven and watch it if we wanted to, man.
All right, honey, you had some time.
What if it? But I mean, I'm not saying that it should be any of the big four, but what if it could be for one of them? If it was possible, like even if we're talking about all of them and all the PLEs that I mean, maybe even would Money in the Bank even be something that anybody would be interested in?
You literally took my pick. That was literally my pick. It was Money in the Bank. That's what I think is the perfect one.
Yeah, like I was gonna say Money in the Bank, but what if they could pick one of the big four in there as well? I would like, what if they did grab WrestleMania? Just one, just for 1 2-nighter. Like I think that would be pretty sick.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. I'm picking Money in the Bank. Like I think like after getting up at 1 a.m. to watch Elimination Chamber in Australia, I would get up at to watch Money in the Bank in Japan, and the promo for Money in the Bank, because it's a stipulation everybody can get behind. Like there will be so much advertising when it comes to like Money in the Bank, especially like with them having Squid Games and all this other stuff that goes on, all of the like game shows and stuff like that. Like the crossover, that's what I feel like will be the biggest success for them, is to have like a Money in the Bank. I don't agree with like the big four, like a Royal Rumble or anything, to Jacob's point, just because those are traditionally for us. But a Money in the Bank is that middle that you could give them to where it's like, it's still kind of like one of the big, like, a little bit under the big four, but enough to where it's like, it'll captivate another audience. And I don't think, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, like ladder matches aren't seen as often in Japan. So now this is a chance to bring like such a dope spectacle that has like a stipulation to it. All of these ladders everywhere, the spots they be having, like I think it's gonna give for them a dope show and something that they've never like really had a chance to see before.
So that's the thing, is you go into Japan, you kind of play by Japan's rules almost. Because when they've gone there for prior shows, things are a little bit different. Because New Japan hadn't had a cage match prior to January of this year in almost 15, 20 years. And we see a cage match, it seems like every other month.
Yeah.
So it's a different audience. I think it would work, but I don't know about it like, are you going to play by Japan's rules of how Japan does their wrestling with the less gimmick matches? And also, actually, that is a good idea. Worlds Collide would work, especially since they're working with All
That would
Japan and
definitely
Noah.
work.
That would probably be the best way you get a Japanese show.
Mhm.
But to Deon's point about this not being for us, everything they do is still for us, whether they do it here or not, because they
Oh,
still
yeah.
look at the social media
Oh,
feedback.
yeah.
They
Oh,
still
yeah.
look at the engagement.
Yep.
So while, yeah, sure, we'll gladly go pump a whole bunch of money into Australia's tourism and get them that revenue and that look and that spotlight and that shine, they're also still looking back like, hey, what's the numbers like? How's it looking in the States? So yeah, it's a feat to be trending worldwide at 5 a.m. for a show in Australia. But also it's like you're number 1 worldwide, but you're number 8 in the States or number 10 in the States, and you have no competition but the problem is nobody's up to watch it. So it's the catch.
It's a catch. Yeah.
It's really
We'll have to see what they do with it. But I just like seeing the success of Australia. It's like, okay, it is doable. It just to show like, okay, would you do it again? And then what would you do it with? But
one last thing I see Dylan going off. Here's the
Wow.
thing about a Japan show. You better heat up Io, you better heat up Asuka, you better heat up Shinsuke, you better heat up every last Japanese talent you got. Much like you did Australia was Rhea's homecoming. You got to nail the going into Japan and make it important. And then follow through. You don't want to make it just a, oh, look what we did for you type deal.
And that's why I think Money in the Bank would be a great bridge to that, because it's like, yo, we're bringing you something we really care about, which is the next person that holds this briefcase for us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're giving this to you. And then, like, even to your point, Jacob, like, the matches between these ladder matches is stuff that, like, features Shinsuke, features Asuka and Io, features Julia.
Kyrie Sane, Julia, Finn Balor, even, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about, like,
Bring AJ back. Yeah.
Yeah.
AJ, even Cody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've all had their
Good
experience there. Like, yep.
Bullet Club.
Yeah, Bullet Club
Yep.
reunion or something like that. Yeah, so I think it has some type of legs there, but we'll just have to see within the near future and just how successful this streaming comes along.
And
But,
also
yeah.
another thing I wanted to add in there, because if there is going to be a Japan in Money in the Bank, I think it would be great to have an appearance from Bull Nakano, because she did pave the way for a lot of wrestlers, and she kind of broke that door. So it would be great to have. She doesn't have to do nothing crazy, but give her like a special appearance or something, like a backstage or whatever, to give her like a quick.
I want to see a ladder match with a ring blow up. Like it's a briefcase with a timer on it.
This
Oh my
ladder
goodness.
match.
Oh, ring blow up.
Why?
That's how you get Money in the Bank. Send 'em. But
Yeah, I'm
speaking
thinking
Oh
of the
my
concept
God.
of that now, man. I'd watch it.
Well, moving on, man. We got a birthday that we need to go ahead and give some praises to. It is Mami, aka Rhea Ripley, aka someone's favorite champion. Not mine right now. Liv has got me right here right now. But still much love to Rhea. It's Rhea's birthday today, so we just want to wish Rhea a very happy and wonderful birthday. I'd like to just go around and ask some of your favorite Rhea Ripley moments. So I will start with Courtney. Courtney, if you can, give me 2 of your favorite Rhea Ripley moments.
I would say the first time she appeared on Raw when she faced off against Charlotte. That was crazy in their WrestleMania match. It was the first time they saw each other. She came to stay, and she was not intimidated. So that was like the first time you see that Rhea Ripley moment. And I would probably say in Australia from Elimination Chamber when she was champion, because that was a big deal. Coming home to her home country against Nia Jax when she was champion, doing it in front of her family, her friends. that was a moment that I knew she was very excited to see performing in front of that hometown crowd. So those are my two favorite moments of Rhea Ripley.
All right. Jacob, two of your favorite Rhea Ripley moments.
One, her whole NXT UK run. Like, I will go to my grave saying that NXT UK was probably the best wrestling and best product WWE has put out in about the past 5 to 10 years, just week to week. And it didn't get its fair share. But yeah, her whole run there. And then I got to say that triple threat of her, Io, and Charlotte at NXT in your house.
Ooh.
Underrated gem. Perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Dion, your favorite two of Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, that match with Charlotte at WrestleMania was the highlight of that night for me. That was they went in and stole that one for me. But I will say, because I'm looking at the comments too, her once she let's I'll put it this way, her joining the Judgment Day was probably her biggest moment, because for a little while she was in a tag team with Liv, floundering. I won't say floundering, but just didn't feel like she was there yet. Once they threw Edge out, it was all her, and she sort of became that leader, even though they didn't have leaders. But the moment she joined the Judgment Day, she found that spot, and like her talent was undeniable. So once she had a platform to sort of be positioned like that, like the superstar that she is, that the sky was the limit then. So, and then we got Dom. It's moments after moments, man. She's only what, like 28, like 27. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Ain't even knocking on Prime yet. Honey, your two favorite moments.
I mean, honestly, I have one real favorite Rhea Ripley moment, and that's when she actually joined the Judgment Day, because I just remember how much of a surprise it was to see her and a whole different look. And I'm like, oh my God, cha-ching. This woman hit it right on the nose. Like, and she fell right into the role after, as Dion said, they got, after the getting rid of Edge and everything and going with that storyline, she did usher in that leadership vehicle and was pretty much the anchor of the Judgment Day, like she's Mami, and then, the whole being part of one of the hottest storylines this year with Dom, Liv, and her. Like, it's just been such a joy to watch her even grow, because I know what she's been capable of since NXT UK, even her in her Mae Young Classic debut. Like, I remember, when she had blonde hair, long blonde hair, like I think that she is totally grown, and she hit her prime, like just about on the cusp of it, I feel, in my eyes, with this Mami persona. I think it totally suits her the best. It's her style, it's her vibe, and people love it. Like, she's just one of the hottest women going in women's wrestling right now. And yeah, the queen of brutality.
Yes, you are 100% correct on that. I had to say my two was when she defeated Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title, that riptide from off of the top turnbuckle. I was just like, yeah, that's it. Shayna ain't getting up from that. Like, that was it. Like, you could just tell, like, it was the end of one amazing chapter and then about to open up a new one, which was Rhea Ripley, especially after, to y'all points, what you had seen her do at WWE NXT UK. And then my second one, not probably one of her greatest matches or one of the ones that you would put maybe in your top 5, but it would be when she won the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 37 against Asuka. And I only love that because I was there and I got to see it.
Oh, you know what? You did say 2. My bad. You did say 2. But my other is when she won and beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. That was my favorite one too.
Match, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love her celebration in that match, and I love her freaking. I'm a theme song girl when it comes to a lot of these wrestlers. Like, I run their theme songs to the ground, and I don't care. But yeah.
So yeah, man. Again, shout out to her. We hope she is having a wonderful birthday.
Happy birthday, Mami.
Happy birthday.
Now, this next story is a little interesting, and I may need some clarity about this.
Um,
And I'm gonna go to Jacob first, as he is the resident accountant of WWT. So apparently, New Jersey has allocates $7.12 million in government funding to secure and host WWE SummerSlam 2025 in MetLife Stadium. Now, from what I've been hearing, though, a lot of headlines have written this kind of differently, as to being said that New Jersey was using government funds from the COVID-19 pandemic or to other things that may have been a bigger priority than securing SummerSlam. Now, I don't know how true this is. Again, these are just from the headlines. Again, when reading some of these articles, it doesn't necessarily say where these funds came from, but it was allocated from government funding. So, Jacob, I want to immediately throw it to you, and maybe you could give some clarity on this and just what exactly does that mean, and how does that look for SummerSlam and New Jersey?
So the state of New Jersey was given, let me make sure I get this exact number correct, a little over $6.24 billion from the federal government in 2021. And basically, this is one of those use it or lose it type deals with the money. So it was originally framed as a COVID relief fund, COVID response fund. However, how this is legal and technical, and it gets into a matter of morals, but in ethics, but it's legal what they did. Using the money is legal because it is allowed and it is used for, quote, to respond to the negative economic impacts of the public health emergency by providing aid to impacted industries such as tourism, travel, and hospitality. So, two-night SummerSlam brings in a whole bunch of tourism, a whole bunch of travel, and gets the whole, hospitality industry working for a good week, because Raw and SmackDown are going to be in that area, and probably NXT as well. And what's funny is this isn't the first time the state of New Jersey has done it. They did it last year to host UFC 288. So, albeit they only spent $3.5 million that time. So again, legal. Now, if you want to question your morals and ethics, but it balances. That's Courtney State though. So
that's what I'm listening to now. Courtney, with you being in this residency where SummerSlam is going to be hosted, how do you feel about the funds being allocated for this, and then how do you see this as an opportunity being a resident there? What does this do for your city of New Jersey?
I had to read the full
of New Jersey.
Yes. State of New Jersey. I had to read this article because the headline was misleading. So I was like, let me read this full story just to get to the bottom of it. As Jacob mentioned, yes, there was funding that was supposed to be used for COVID. Now, there is a balance of morality, integrity, and also they better put in some income for this SummerSlam if they're going to make this work. That is going to be the ultimate question. Is this going to be successful? Because this is not one night of SummerSlam you're doing 2 nights of SummerSlam. So
I guess that's the question I am asking. Do you feel like it will be a success with SummerSlam coming 2 nights in a row? Or even to possibly like a week. If it's 2 nights and I'm betting they're doing SummerSlam week in New Jersey. Do you think that it has the potential to make money?
I do believe it does, considering this is like the biggest event of the summer. I don't see them throwing a hardball at this because this is early August. This is your biggest pay-per-view of the summer. You're going to have sponsors. You're going to have people that want to do brand partnerships. You're going to possibly have celebrities, maybe Cardi B showing up, possibly, but other celebrities that live in like not just New York, but also in New Jersey area that are going to come to SummerSlam. So I believe if they play their cards right, and even Triple H, they're gonna be successful.
Okay. Honey, your thoughts on, I guess, legal, according to Jacob,
I mean,
of how these
right.
funds from the government allocate to secure a SummerSlam. Like, what? How does this make you feel? And like, what does this do for WWE, knowing that people are pulling government funding to bring them to their city?
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that I would hope would be a little concerned, because apparently a lot of it was also from pandemic relief as well. I mean, either way, regardless of the situation, the WWE is going to proceed and go with the show, because the show will always must go on, and they're going to pull in a lot of people. Because they're already promoting it, especially with Cardi B and Bianca's commercial, and then making it a 2-night thing. We saw how many people have been showing up to these 2-nighters since it started. It's just growing and growing, but I don't know if is it worth being something that you celebrate and go to, considering that is now from government funding, and they're also admitting to it. It's kind of concerning, just a little.
Dion, your thoughts?
I mean, aside from the COVID relief money, but you gotta spend money to make money, man. They're spending that however mil or whatever for WrestleMania. I mean, the only thing we have reference is the WrestleMania 2 nights, right? So that's all we sort of have to go off of. But from Axios.com, they were saying that host cities bring in more than 1.25 billion in economic impact from a WrestleMania. Also raking in as much as 200 million for local tourism too. So I think that's what WWE stands on the most. Hey, we're an attraction. You have us for a week from Monday to Monday, maybe even earlier. That's the way I look at it. Again, like Jacob said, I mean, it's legal what they're doing. Because if you don't spend it, you'll lose it. But if you're telling me I can spend this amount of money now through this event and then potentially make, $1 billion off of this for the week to help New Jersey, I mean, I'd still go, I guess, but I'm not in New Jersey.
I mean,
I'd
here's the thing that I think is getting lost, and I don't want this to sound like I'm defending the devil per se. With the devil being WWE, but let's just call a spade here. Every major event, that city ponies up something to get it. WWE just doesn't look at a map and go, cool, dart hit near LA. We're going to LA for Mania. Like, no, it's like the Super Bowl. There's politicking, there's position. Somebody's cut a check for it, because I'll pay you $5 million up front. If I normally make 80 mil on the back end, I will gladly do that 10 times out of 10. It's just that the news broke from whoever. I saw Sports Business Journal, SI. I'm not sure who broke it first, but it just happens to be COVID money. And when you hear it going, hey, they just spent 7.5 mil of COVID money, you immediately go, really? That's what we're doing? But then you look at it and you're like, all right, it's a use it or lose it situation. It is technically used to rebuild the industries that were devastated the most by COVID, which is hospitality, tourism, and traveling. So I hate you so much, Dylan. So much. So it looks bad. Yes, the optics look bad. Once you dive into it, it doesn't look as bad. It just becomes a matter of morals and ethics. And again, I hate to say this, but we act like this is the worst. This doesn't make the list of the 500 worst things WWE corporate has ever done.
Yes.
So in 2 weeks, we'll forget about this until next summer when they're like, hey, SummerSlam's in Jersey. Remember that COVID money they spent?
We'll be over there.
My only thoughts about this was very simple. Once I saw the Jersey Shore, none of this surprised me. And the Sopranos took place in New Jersey. This is a whole ass thing. Like none of this surprised me at all. at all. All the politicians go be at SummerSlam right there.
Front row.
Yeah, like I'm here to eat some cannolis and watch Cody Rhodes. That's what I'm here to see right now. That's what oh, you mad I gave away the COVID money? Look, SummerSlam said, go fuck yourself, okay? That's
Oh my god.
that's
Oh
all.
my goodness.
Oh God, Tony D'Angelo is going to cut a Jesus. No,
Oh, he damn. Oh yeah, I know they have an NXT down there too. That was a wrap. It's gonna be a wrap. Oh my goodness. So we'll see exactly what's gonna happen. But now switching over to a little bit of AEW news. Ricky Stark.
Man.
I don't want to spend too much on this topic because I know we still need to do our predictions for WrestleDream that's happening this weekend, and we still got to get the Raw preview down. So I definitely don't want to
SmackDown.
SmackDown. Sorry, SmackDown. See, I'm the day I'm in after that. Ricky Stark has recently let us know from his words during a spat on Twitter that he is clear. Nothing's wrong with him. He has no reason that he can give why he's not on television, but he is very confident that hopefully he will be returning on television soon. And that was all really the information that we got on that. No real update as to why or when we're going to see Ricky Stark. So just want to get your brief thoughts on what's going on and if something's happened with Ricky or what is Ricky's future in AEW or just in wrestling in general. What's what our what?
I was gonna say, yeah, Courtney, you got to start with the expert.
Yeah, we gotta start with the expert. Just from your constituents down there at AEW, can you maybe give us some information we don't know about? Like what's going on with Ricky Stark at AEW?
I wish I could tell you this because we have not seen Ricky since, dear God, February, early March. That's the last time we saw it was on a Collision. That was the last time. But of course, there was some injury, there was speculation. I didn't even want to get into it because everybody's been putting misleading rumors and everything regarding his contract and everything. And I said, you know what? Let's weigh this out because I'm just at a point where I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of this reports of Ricky. He does seem very well. And there were some times that some storylines didn't fit him, which was fine. And maybe he wanted some personal times and everything else. But tomorrow is WrestleDream. Maybe he's amping up for a surprise. I don't know. Dylan. Oh, man. But I mean, I would not be shocked if he came back tomorrow. Who knows? He may come back like before the end of this year. Plus, I think they're keeping it under wraps because they don't want it leaked out regarding Ricky. So when he comes back, he comes back. But I think a lot of people within the AEW are being very strategic on when Ricky's returning because they don't want any misleading leaked reports out. So I would not be shocked if he did come back tomorrow. I would not be shocked if he came back by the end of this year. But we're ready, Ricky. I'm ready to see Ricky.
Wait, because you know I don't know. Was Ricky good enough for all of this to be put into him for that? Like no, like I'm not clowning him or nothing, but like I can see if this was Daniel Bryan and y'all keeping it like this, but I'm like Ricky Stark, like
I don't think they put enough into him for him to have like a major comeback, right? Like
for them to have like this big plan that they're setting up for him to come back. Like
AEW and plan don't work for me.
So. The FTR match. I saw accusations. These are not accusations. This is false accusations. And
I'm just asking. I'm not clouding this. I'm just asking the question. Just asking. I don't know what championships this man had won at AEW, but
he won the FTW championship. He won the tag team titles. I want to say TNT, but I could be wrong. I don't think he won the TNT.
He was also I don't know if he was aligned or went against, but or had like a rivalry with, but I know he was affiliated with Cody a lot in the beginning. He was also seen at WrestleMania 40 this past year as well. And that's I think that's probably the real reason why they've kept him quiet and on the back burner right now.
And just at home getting paid, man. Like, how wild is that?
Ricky Stark saw something he wasn't supposed to see, and they keeping that man under wraps.
So, to answer the question, yes, Ricky is worth it because Ricky is one of the youngest, brightest stars in AEW, and he falls in the category of Miro, where it's just like, dog, it's been one weird thing after another. Not quite as bad as Miro, with just be like, hey, I don't want to do this creative, but Ricky has literally had the heels taken out from him every time he's got going. Cody leaves. There was something going there with that. Punk gets into his incident with Lil Perry's boy.
Out. Yeah, with all
that
out.
Takes his steam
Jack
out.
Perry.
He has the great match with Danielson, but nothing comes of it. You have the Big Bill bit, and then the reports were, oh yeah, we'll put you back in the tag tournament just to have Big Bill turn on you and you lose in the first round. And Ricky's like, where does it go after that? Nowhere. Okay, cool. I'm not going to do it. So yeah, I think it's a bit of unfortunate he's snake bitten, and then also he's friends with Cody and Punk. And you have the Bucks there, and they have been known to be a little petty and backhanded at times. This is a historical fact. So I think he's just suffering from a series of unfortunate events. And unfortunately, sit at home, cash that check, and write out that contract, dog.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll do something for him. But when he was in the NWA, he had the same problem before he got out the NWA deal. So he's just a snake-bitten person with luck, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Boza, to your point, like, yo, no, he cleared up all of that in the interview that he had. So it was nothing against him like knocking down creative. It's nothing about him going to WWE. There's no contract disputes. He answered all of those things to say it is none of those things. I do not have a legitimate reason as to why I am not on television. He said you would have to ask them. That is it. But he cleared all of those things up. So
at what point do you just ask for your release? And what are the chances that Tony gives you that?
Slim to none.
Slim to the air.
Even with like a non-compete on the back end, right?
Slim to none.
That let me know he knows something. He saw something.
You want to know why I say slim to none? Look what he did to the Lucha Brothers.
Well,
allegedly, that you tacked on a whole 9 months to Phoenix's contract due to injury time, which is fair, standard practice. But Tony Khan, up until that point, more or less has been like, hey, I let deals expire. I don't believe in attacking injury time. If you don't want to be here, like he let go Joey Janela, Big Swole. He's let people go and he's re-signed people, and he's just been like, hey, if you don't want to be here, not a fit, cool. Now, all of a sudden, whether it's alleged details of a debut getting leaked out, things of this nature, you're holding people, I don't want to say hostage, but you're going against how you were. And I get it. It's the WWE way. I'm not going to let you go so you can go across the street and make somebody else more money. But also, you got a big enough roster, Tony. Let them go.
You have a loaded roster.
You have a loaded roster, and you still haven't done anything with all of them.
Yeah, but there's like 4 different shows too, right? That he can't make. Like, you can't put him on one of these shows. Like, I don't know.
Like, he used to face a collision, and then bye.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Whoa, Mr. Welton. Whoa, I am great. I am really good, but like,
you gotta do the dance, man. You gotta do that step.
Do not bring the Samoan werewolf and that beef my way. I want none of those problems.
I really hope he does that tonight. I really want to see it.
So here's another interesting story. Here's a very interesting story. So it is being said that Cody Rhodes has headline shows that have set gate records for the city in which these shows have been in as many as 32 to 35 main events since becoming champion. Now, I don't want to say like these Taylor Swift numbers. Somebody's fluffing something up, but
you could probably go check the gates, man. You could probably go check the ticket sales for those.
Main event is a strong word because I don't recall him main eventing that many since April. 32 to 35 main events.
Well, that counts house shows too.
That counts house shows. Yeah. That counts the weekend loop.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm starting to get on this. I was like, I'm trying to see where is this coming from? When did he do main events? Yes, same, man. I don't know. And since he's been champ.
All right, so let me step in here and handle the numbers for you real quick.
Please help. Please help.
They set gate records all the time. Attendance can be down and you can still set a gate record. You know why? Because it cost me $20 damn extra for the same damn ticket. That's why, because shit's too damn expensive. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just one of those, hey, dog, congrats. You were the top of the marquee. That floor seat that I used to be able to get for $100 when y'all would come through on that loop, that shit cost me $175 now, dog.
But people still pay it. But that's the thing. People still pay it and people still pay to come see him.
I'm not mad at it whatsoever. Yeah. You are what you are. Your worth is what somebody will pay you, is what I've always been taught and told. So
can we just look at this jacket for a second, Will? Look at that, man. He
fly. That's why I picked.
Like he could fly to the ring right now.
I was like,
how many Eagles did he kill to get that jacket?
If there's an episode of The Boys where they're in the future, if he don't play Homelander's son grown up, like y'all have dropped the ball on this. The dude looks like Homelander for real. That's all I'm gonna say. Honey, your thoughts on this I guess accolade that Cody has achieved after becoming champion.
I mean, so far so good. As far as, headlining, you know what I mean? At least we know he's a consistent fighting champion. Yeah, it's the Cody crybabies and the kids. They love Cody, man. How could you not?
Courtney, your thoughts?
Cody's doing his thing as champion. I mean, he's showing up week after week, giving the fans what they want.
No,
he's
Wait, who said that?
I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me, the tribal chief. That's right.
No idea how that happened. I have no idea how that happened.
I'm sorry, but go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No. I mean, he's showing up week to week. He's a champ right now, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Here's how I feel about this and this whole thing with Cody.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Here we go.
Come on, man.
Top shelf haterism here.
Oh
top
my
shelf.
God.
I know that. I know, Javon.
That's how I feel about whatever the fuck these numbers are. Listen, if you gonna have Cody be a champion, don't you start trying to hit me with these Taylor Swift numbers, okay? Be like, he's sold out. This is that. Stop.
I mean, he's
listen. I was at Fanatics, man. Practically every kid, even there was grown ass men dressed just like Cody, and lined up ready to see him. Like it might as well have been an audition to like star in his biopic. Like there were so many Cody. Like they're everywhere, man. They really are
everywhere.
So, I mean, shout outs to Cody.
Yeah, I mean, like y'all said, y'all, we can't deny that. But always remember though,
Can't no man knock me out. I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody. This is my show. This is my camera. I run it all.
So let's see if them numbers stay the same with the OTC match.
Question.
That's all I'm saying.
Question, Councilman. Question.
Yes.
Who's been Roman's? Who would you say Roman's biggest, I guess, foe would have been since his whole tribal chief run. You think so? You still think that's
absolutely not?
Oh.
No
Steel
way.
chairs.
No way.
During his whole
run,
like,
ooh, that's a tough one though. That's a tough
Kevin Owens is the correct answer.
Kevin Owens is up there. Seth only had one match with him.
No, Seth doesn't need any. Seth, we all know why. Seth is the forever black cloud that will forever follow Roman.
But he's talking about during his tribal chief run, not the full Roman Reigns run.
But what did he do at WrestleMania 40?
I mean,
it was literally because of him that Cody finished the story.
That's two out of 1,000 days. We're saying out of 1,000 days, and the people he's wrestled, we putting Seth at one.
Absolutely.
Nah.
Ever since that Roman, as far as storyline goes, and going back years, I'm sorry, I'm a firm believer of this, and just from my perspective, I'm not saying anybody has to agree with me or anything, but Seth. Like honestly, Seth was honestly somebody who should have won it, but everybody wanted Cody to finish the story. You have to go with what the people want. But Seth Rollins is literally the reason why Roman lost that night, literally, and it was all because Roman will never be able to forgive and forget what had happened all those years ago when his brother, so-called brother, stabbed him in the back and did it again and cost him his undisputed title that he had been holding on to for years. So even without having matches, they don't have to have a best out of 7 or, go the way CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are doing. This is a build-up rivalry like this, like similar to how John Cena and The Rock did it within a year without even laying hands on each other until the event came, but longer. And it's just long-term storytelling, and that goes back to the conversation we had earlier this week. Charisma and storytelling.
Let's be real. Seth did not cost him at 40. Roman cost him his title at 40 because he's the one that decided, I'm gonna take this chair shot. He could have easily ducked and dodged Seth and went for the win. He decided to fall into his own temptation and hit him with that chair. So I'm not chairs. Yeah, so I was like, I'm not gonna give it. You made the decision to do, as he said, Roman screwed Roman on there.
But you
are right.
To Seth's point, he's never beaten Seth. He's never actually beaten Seth.
But the question that Dion is asking, in his tribal chief championship era, can we really say that Seth was number one with the KO matches we had, with even Mick Foley Jr. and that switch up, the Jey Uso battles, the Brock battles, John Cena battles? Like you said with history, this is the same man that said, I'm here because you can't do your job, and wiped the floor with him at SummerSlam.
It is literally KO, Brock, Cena, then Seth, because Seth was only a hot little moment. And then he got thrown back into it this year. Like, that was it. Like, they kept them far and separate away.
1,000 days, honey. I get the overall story, but in this tribal chief time, there's
the man was 40 days.
I guess you know what this tells me only one thing, guys. We need to have a Shield debate. That's what this tells me. We've been
Seth is the third Shield member, third best.
We've been talking about
I said it.
We've been talking a couple of months, and I know Ced could definitely vouch for it. We've been talking a couple of months. We should have, especially I think it was Ced's idea. We should pick, like how we did with the horsewomen, have a debate and judge based on our opinions who the better Shield member was.
I know who's the worst.
If we talking whole entire careers from Shield debut all the way to now, Seth is number 3, Moxley is 1, Roman is 2.
Man.
And I could make it. And if you said Roman was 1, I'd live with it.
I put Kurt Angle at 3 before I put Moxley at.
I forgot about that.
You know what? You know what? That makes sense that you would do that.
Yo.
that you like mid because you have Batman back there, so that makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world.
With that goofy ass mouth.
Y'all leave Kurt alone.
Yeah, you better leave Kurt Angle, man.
He won a gold medal,
With
an
a
Olympic
broken
gold
freaking
medal
neck.
with a broken freaking neck. Okay.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. As soon as I saw it, I was like,
Again.
somebody tell Eugene Daddy to go sit down.
You know what?
I'm ready.
Oh my Lord.
Again, Seth is number 3.
Ooh.
Oh man.
It ain't slander for Batman. It's the truth. Batman is mid.
That what? Nah, dog. That's a whole nother conversation.
No, that's
We're not doing that.
conversation.
We're not doing.
Women's Wrestling Talk has been brought to you by All Caribbean Wrestling. Catch the wave. Go to allcaribbeanwrestling.com to check out all the latest pay-per-views or go on the YouTube page at All Caribbean Wrestling. Also, go and check out their socials on Instagram at All Caribbean Wrestling and on X at All Caribbean WR1.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen not knowing what you want to do like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to www.talkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
That man said Batman was mid.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
His superpower's parent is daddy and mommy issues. Like, come on, let's not do this today.
That's the same thing for Spider-Man. That's the same thing for Superman. So all of
Okay,
them.
Spider-Man actually has powers though. Batman just beats up on people because he couldn't process his mama getting shot.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
Oh my God.
You know what? This. We'll talk about this offline because we got to stay on topic, and I'm gonna go ahead and make sure we keep this ship stirring. And so our producer can get the clip ready. We're gonna first jump into the SmackDown preview. SmackDown is airing in about 49 minutes, and of course we have another great SmackDown set up. 2 hours, I guess, is when it's happening. Maybe 3. You never know with SmackDown and what they're gonna do. But tonight, the OTC, our tribal chief, the only tribal chief that we recognize, is going to be in the building tonight on SmackDown. No idea what is going to happen, what's going to be said, especially coming off of Bad Blood and the Timu Bloodline, Cody Rhodes, everything. Yes, thank you, Mayor. Both combos bookmarked, actually, this Batman and the Shield thing. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that we do both of these. But then we also have the Women's Tag Team Championships on the line. We have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending their titles against the Meta people.
Metaphor.
Yeah, them. All of them.
This is a big deal. This is
Oh,
dope.
yeah.
I'm actually
on.
really happy. Like, and first of all, just look at how beautiful this picture is. Like, hello.
Oh yeah, no! Shout out to SmackDown for like upgrading their previews. They stuff looks amazing.
It's great. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
but I think this is a dope interpromotional bout for NXT and SmackDown. And like you said, I think it is dope, and it is fitting that they chose SmackDown, and I do like that they're doing it, of course, between with Miss Jackson and Lash Legend. And then we also have more gold that's going to be on the line. Although the win was a bit controversial between AJ Styles and Carmelo Hayes, he is still going to be granted his title shot at the U.S. title against LA Knight, and it will be defended on SmackDown.
Hold on. Real quick. Put that comment back up on the screen.
Oh shoot.
Oh man.
Yams, gotcha. Mac and cheese, gotcha. Cornbread, gotcha. My nigga, what kind of West Coast bullshit is this where we got grit? Why does grits fit in with the other three, sir?
I mean,
oh my God.
that.
As far as thickness, I get it, but other than that, how does grits fit in, sir? And also, who's the grits in the conversation? That's what I want to know, Mr.
You know
Welton.
it got to be Lakita Lyons. Lakita Lyons got to be the grits. I was calling the grandmother's biscuits. I guess
She put sugar in them grits too, huh?
She probably do. But
I'm sorry. Continue on.
That is the preview for tonight that we have so far, and of course, so much other stuff that's going to be going on SmackDown. We don't know if the Team Bloodline is going to show up. We'll probably hear from our Tribal Queen as well, Nia Jax, and what's going on with Tiffany Stratton, who her next opponent is going to be. I think, especially seeing some advertising that we saw that was a little bit.
We got to talk about the fact that Roman Reigns had put on Twitter tonight, we acknowledge him. Who else are we acknowledging besides Roman Reigns?
I mean,
we're not going to talk about this.
I was going to ask so we can get to our picks though. The possibility of a tribal chief getting encountered with the final boss, perhaps. Honey, what is the chances that The Rock shows up tonight?
I would hope so. I mean, I would hope that they don't just leave me hanging in bad blood like that. I would love to see some aftermath. It'd be pretty sweet. And I want to know what the hand symbols were. What are we counting down to? What's the 4, 2, 1, 1, whatever the hell you did? Because there's a lot of symbolism that goes on in this bloodline story, and The Rock is very, very he's always wanted to make a good gesture, and he has a few of them. And I know he looked very concerned with the raise of that eyebrow, considering that it was a completely different picture for him back in April.
Yes, it was. Dion, your thoughts of will the final boss confront the tribal chief tonight?
I mean, do we know where they are tonight? By chance, like we're
South Carolina, Greenville.
Oh, maybe. If not, I think we can get something like a video from him or something piped in that way, sort of deal. But I think it'd be. I mean, we got to let Roman speak. He really hasn't spoken like maybe once when he came back so far.
Yeah.
And then the stuff they did with Georgia Tech. But other than that, I think he'll talk about the Temu bloodline. We'll see them come out tonight. Hopefully there's a if you smell at the end of it, or just a message from him. That's all we need from him, really. Rock's playing a long game here. It feels like, and I don't know if it's Survivor Series or next year's WrestleMania, probably next year's WrestleMania. But he said Civil War in his promo leading back to from Bad Blood the other night. So he's lurking somewhere.
All right, Jacob. What do you think is next for Cody Rhodes? Does the bloodline story continue with him included, or do we see him moving on, especially after a certain video that aired that we are not supposed to be talking about that's being handled internally?
Oh, KO gonna put them hands on him again. Like, again, go back to the point of who's been Roman's greatest foe since the tribal chief has been Kevin Owens. This man has been fighting this man for like 5 years, him and all his cousins. And now you want to go team up and be buddy after I've been here with you through the next wave of cousins? Come on, dog. This man ran over KO with a golf cart. Yeah. You think KO just gonna let you go team up with this man? Like, nah. It's going to be Cody, Kevin, and that takes him away from the bloodline till about Rumble-ish. I'm sure Solo still kind of just stick his little head in there just to mess with him, but that takes him away. And honestly, I think we all know who Roman means when he says tonight we acknowledge him. It's the Wise Man.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey,
I thought it was Saturday, but
yeah, I did too. But I can see it being to SmackDown and then him just walking out. Courtney, what are you most looking forward to on SmackDown? Not just even from the previews, but something we could potentially see happen tonight.
Well, I'm curious on what's going to happen after Nia Jax, because with Tiffany Stratton, that's going to happen. Also, hearing what Cody has to say about his match against Gunther, because that's his next opponent at Crown Jewel. So I would not be shocked on what Gunther has to say, or maybe he shows up on SmackDown. So that's another thing. Curious about their upcoming match. Also, Nia Jax on what she has to say about Liv Morgan. because Liv Morgan had a few words to say about Nia Jax on Monday. So I'm curious on what remarks she's going to have to say. And also, poor Chelsea. She was covered in trash last week. So we're going to be probably seeing her tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be an action-packed SmackDown. That's all I know. I think we had some heat with NXT as well as Raw, and I think they're just gonna keep this heat flowing. And even to like Boza's point, wondering if Liv may show up tonight, especially with Crown Jewel coming, where we're gonna have champion versus champion, and even in that same place, will Gunther come to talk to talk to Cody? So we have a lot that we can basically look out for. And if you want to, and I hope you do, you will stick around for the watch along for the Honey Night SmackDown watch along with, of course, Wrestling with Honey. Now, we do have one more topic, but I want to make sure Honey gets enough time to get something to eat, walk her dog, get some rest. We're talking about WrestleDream that will be taking place Saturday, October 12th. I believe, Courtney, just correct me if I'm wrong, post-show or watch along?
It's going to be both.
Okay, so y'all get a twofer. You're getting a watch along with Stone Cold Courtney, and you're getting a post show for WrestleDream. Now we are definitely going to have our predictions, but I want Honey to go first for each match. We're not going to go round and around. We're just going to have you go all the way through this map and say who's going to win what. Then that way we'll have you let people know where to follow you, so you can get a little chance to get ready for the watch along.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. Hold on. What on the bottom right? That's Darby and
Brody.
That's
Brody.
Okay. I thought so. Let's see. I'm going with just flash quick picks. You know what? Yeah. Brody. Let's see. Briscoe.
Then we got Hangman versus Jay White.
Hangman, Adam Page.
All right. Then we have the TNT Championship.
That's who's that with Jack Perry?
Yeah, Jack Perry and
Jack Perry's definitely keeping that. I'm going.
We got Private Party versus the Young Bucks for the tag team titles.
I want to go for Private Party so bad, but I know the Young Bucks are going to do some shenanigans. I feel it. So I'm going to have to go with the Young Bucks there because shenanigans is what they always count on. WrestleDream. Well, we got this one's the really hard one for me. Ospreay, Ricochet, and I can't say its name. I don't want to mess it up. Takeshita, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Takeshita.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go with Ospreay on that, and then Willow.
All right, and then for the main event, Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. Who walks out as champion?
Moxley. I don't think he's coming all this way just to lose.
Okay. All right. Well, that is Honey's pick for AEW's WrestleDream. Before you get out of here, please let them know how they can follow and support you.
Thank you. You guys can follow me here. I'm here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays with the WWT Live crew. Can tune into the watch along. We got Honey Night SmackDown going on in a half an hour, so make sure you guys tune in and stay tuned. But please don't forget to continue to hang with my peeps here and Wrestling with Honey TikTok, Wrestling with Honey Instagram, Facebook, Wrestling W Honey, and the new sweetest podcast is going to be premiering very soon. The Wrestling with Honey podcast on YouTube.
Yes, indeed, Honey. We appreciate you joining in, but hey, don't fret. Everybody that's watching,
I'll be back
in about 40 minutes. You will see her for the Honey Night SmackDown watch along. So until then, Honey, you enjoy your watch along and you have a fantastic weekend.
You too, guys.
All right. So I'm going to now move to Dion.
Sure.
You will give me your flash picks of WrestleDream. Who's walking away in these matches? The winner.
So I'll take Brody King versus Darby Allin. I'll take Hangman. I will take Jack Perry, Briscoe. I'll go Private Party. Nightingale. I'll take Willow. Ospreay, and then the fourth best Shield member. I won't take him. I'm going Daniel Bryan.
Not the fourth best. Wow. All right.
Those are my picks.
Jacob, your picks for WrestleDream.
All right. Brody King's going to kill Darby, but Darby finds a way to win, even though he's dead. Briscoe sends Jericho to the great beyond, so I don't have to see him on my TV anymore. I think Switchblade gets it over Hangman, barely. Swerve gets put in the Hurt Locker by Bobby. That's how that segment ends. Shibata takes an L to Jack Perry due to shenanigans. The Bucks find a way to knock off Private Party because this match shouldn't be on pay-per-view. Takeshita finally gets some single gold and pins Will Ospreay and sends him out the Callis family officially. And Mariah May knocks off Willow, even though Willow deserves it. And here's the tricky one. Moxley versus Bryan. Bryan loses. He's done as a full-time competitor. I think Bryan gets this one. He wins this. Yuta turns on him in the aftermath, and we set up a way to run it back at Full Gear, and that's when we get Bryan out of here.
Okay. I'm gonna flash by mine so that way, the last one, of course, is our AEW correspondent to give us the best picks. I'm also too gonna go with Brody taking, destroying Darby just because you done lost his contract. I feel like your loser streak finna keep going. I'm not gonna lie. I think we might see Jericho crowned as the Ring of Honor World Champion.
He already won it.
I think we might see it again due to some shenanigans with Bill, something, man. I don't know. I also think Jay White is going to beat the Hangman, and I think it will be by shenanigans of Swerve coming out and distracting him. I think Jack Perry still retains and retains the TNT Championship. I'm also going to go with Private Party just because I'm at that point with the Bucks where I just want to see someone else have these titles. So I'm going to root for them. In this triple threat match, I'm going to go with Takeshita winning due to some kind of shenanigans going on between Ospreay and Ricochet in the ring and him taking advantage of it. Mariah May winning over Willow Nightingale just because she has the title. I don't want to see Willow get it just so hand-me-down Monet can come and challenge her, and now she's 3 belts Monet. I don't want to see that happen. And then for the main event, I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson just because it doesn't hurt Jon Moxley, especially with this whole turn. I feel like there's still a lot more for him to grow with. So I just don't know if Moxley is the one to finally end Bryan Danielson's career. So I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson on this one. But last and certainly not least, we wanted to save the best for last, being the AEW correspondent here at WWT. So Courtney, give us your picks on WrestleDream.
God damn, everybody's picking Brody. I'm picking the hometown guy, Darby Allin. He's gonna win. Like, come on, it's in Washington. You ain't gonna make him lose in his home state. So I'm going with Darby Allin, Jericho, and Briscoe. I love Chris, but I gotta go with Mark Briscoe. I just think Mark Briscoe is gonna retain, and there's gonna be shenanigans with the learning tree, the conglomeration. But I have a feeling Mark Briscoe is gonna retain. I would like for Jay White to win over Hangman to continue that momentum. I would not be shocked if we see members of the Bang Bang Gang come in, attack Hangman for some odd reason, but I do see Jay White winning. For the TNT, I got to give it to Jack Perry. I want him to continue that momentum, and I also want him to get a legit storyline out of the TNT Championship because I'm already getting sick of picking opponents left and right. I want him to have a legitimate tag team. Private Party and the Young Bucks. Ironically enough, there's only been 2 tag teams that pinned him clean. during their latest reign. There's only been 2. And people tend to forget about Private Party. And yes, Quinn has been injured. They lost their momentum. But people tend to forget they beat them on the 2nd episode of Dynamite. So you know what? I'm going for Private Party. I have to go with Private Party. They just built so much momentum, and I got to go with them. Triple Threat, as much as I love Will Ospreay, I would like for Takeshita to win gold. I feel like now is the time. Now is pretty much the time. And also with everything that went down at Dynamite between Will Ospreay and Don Callis, I would not be shocked if Kyle Fletcher betrayed Will Ospreay, but I just have a feeling Takeshita is going to walk away with gold. I'm sorry, but that pounce that Willow Nightingale gave to Mariah May, it just made me love her even more. And I kind of wish she gave it to Camille, even though I love Chris Statlander. I kind of wish she gave that pounce, but as much as I love Willow, I'm actually going with Mariah May retaining it because I want Willow to continue having that chip on her shoulder. So I'm going with Mariah May retaining. And the main event, I got to go with Bryan Danielson. I mean, this is in the home state of Washington. I mean, yes, it would be sad for him to lose it, but I just can't see him losing it. And plus, Moxley has a really interesting run. I don't think this loss is going to hurt him. It's going to build momentum for him going forward. So I do see Bryan Danielson retaining the title.
All right. Y'all have gotten our picks for this weekend's WrestleDream. Make sure you check out WrestleDream. No idea what this is streaming because I don't always watch. Is it still on Thriller and Bleacher as well?
Just Triller. They shut down Bleacher.
Yeah, they moved from Bleacher, yeah.
Okay, so it is on Triller, but make sure you do that and you come watch along with Stone Cold Courtney and stay on for the post show after so you can see all the discussion about the results and what happens next after WrestleDream. But that is going to round off our show today. But we did have one more important thing that we wanted to make sure that we end off with WWT and that nobody forgets ever. The greatest NXT Women's Champion, their women's wrestler out right now.
My man for NXT, she definitely.
She in the top 5.
You said you had to cover your eyes while you said that because even you don't believe
she ain't even top 5, dog. She ain't even top 5. Like, come on. What we doing here?
The 2 belts say different. That's all I'm saying.
What we doing here?
Look. Then, now, forever, together. It's like this is the epitome of WWE slogan in one picture. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, y'all don't see that. So shout out to my client. I just wanted to make sure that was seen and present. But before we get out of here, I always want to make sure that everybody that is watching WWT Live gets a chance to know where to follow and support our WWT panel. So we are first going to start off with Courtney. Where can they follow and support you?
They can always find me here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do have my watch along every Wednesday for Dynamite. You can also catch me tomorrow while I'll be doing my watch along for WrestleDream and also post show as well. They can also follow me here on Twitter and Instagram on @CourtneyNJ11 where I recently did a post celebrating 5 years of Dynamite from last week. I will be posting my predictions tomorrow. And I got more stuff to cover in the coming weeks. So feel free to follow me on all my socials.
Yes, indeed. Jacob Lawrence, where can they follow and support you?
Of course, you can find me on Twitter @_JDella. You can also find my writings and musings over at anscape.com. And also, since he is not here because I guess he's too good to show up to work, you can follow my former co-host, Mr. Cedric Welton, who has horrible food palate that wants to put grits on the same plate as yams, mac and cheese, and cornbread. But nonetheless, you can follow that man on Twitter @CEW_SAYS. That is said_says. And by the way, Mr. Welton, keep your left hand down on Sunday. Those Commanders are taking an L.
have it. Dion, where can they find you?
Yeah, over on TikTok and Instagram at All Star Fandom Show, YouTube as well. Some great videos coming out with discussing a few fandoms. I have Rick Line, who was a puppeteer in the first Ninja Turtles movie, first two Ninja Turtles movies. So it'd be dope to talk to him, and that's dropping a few weeks once to get things scheduled. But yeah, I'm here Mondays, Wednesdays, rare Friday for me. So, but yeah, loving being a part of the cast, and yeah, All Star Fandom Show. Appreciate it.
All righty. Yeah. So you can find me at Kurt Angle was a Shield member on
Boom.
all socials. You already know what the profile picture is. And shout out to everybody that joined in on us today, man. Pat Chu, Jeffrey, Easy Knot, Malik 3166, Boza, our producer Dylan Matthews, always chiming in with us and making us have a great time. Christopher LeClaire. Let's see who else was in here. Jesse Hyde, thank you so much. Jordan Kirby, appreciate you commenting and joining in the chats with us to have a great conversation. Another fantastic episode of WWT Live. Special little nobodies as well. Shout out to all of you. And if I did miss you, it wasn't by being mean or just passing you up. I can't see, and I don't have great eyesight, and scrolling is giving me a headache, so I'm going to stop now. But thank you for joining us for another episode of WWT Live. We appreciate you tuning in. Be sure that you get ready for Honey Night SmackDown taking place within the next 25 minutes. So thank you all for joining WWT, the number one women's wrestling talk in the wrestling industry. I still didn't say it right, and I know I didn't, but there you have it. Good night.
You're doing
Thanks
great.
for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling.